Hey guys, it's Cam here from today's iPhone.com with the 5th installment of Quiz Cam episode 1.0.5. 5. I did learn to count once, but it didn't go very well. Also, if I do sound a little bit rough, it's because I'm getting over a cold, but thankfully I'm recovered just in time for Thursday, which obviously is Quiz Cam day for all of us here at today's iPhone.com. Well, I say everyone, just me, because I love myself so much. Question 1 from Luis Aguinaga. Should I purchase a new MacBook Pro with Retina display or save me some money and buy a regular MacBook Pro? Tough question. Now what you need to ask yourself first is, do you need the Retina display? Obviously that's where the bulk of your extra money is going. If you're not a graphics designer, if you don't work a lot in detail in that kind of area, then there's really no need for a Retina display. That's my sensible head talking. But me, if I had all the expendable money in the world, I would go with the Retina displayed Mac because it was awesome. So you're really asking the wrong person. Split personality alert. What's your favourite iPhone app and game, and what make you... Oh, hang on, this is like 3 questions all in one. What's your favourite iPhone app and game, and what made you want to do Quiz Cam? iPhone app is fantastical. It's the only calendar app that I find easy to use, and I actually want to use it to organise my life. I say me, I mean my wife. She organises my life for me. That's why we have a shared calendar on iCloud. Favourite game is undoubted on the iPhone. Actually, that's a tough one. Most of my games are done on the iPad. Or the iPad mini or the larger one, depending on whether I want to play something with really amazing graphics or if I just want to have a bit of fun and portability. I love playing letterpress on this, whereas I would play Sky Gamblers, for instance, on the larger iPad with a better screen. There's not a lot of games I choose to play on an iPhone. I guess the only one that I prefer on an iPhone over anything else is Temple Run. And what made you want to do Quiz Cam? That's an easy question for me. A lot of the time we make content, we write it on the site. If you're not familiar with our site because you just check out our YouTube channel, you should. Today's iPhone.com is the name of our website, oddly enough. And most of the time I'm writing on there, I'm writing up news or reviews. And also on the video channel, it's a lot of reviews. It's basically me telling you stuff. And in Quiz Cam, I wanted you to get the chance to say what you wanted, have your comments featured. I mean, you don't have to ask me a question, you can just make a comment in the comment section, and if I find it entertaining or if I can do something with it, I'll include it in the video. But it was a way for us to connect with our YouTube audience and kind of get you to say what you wanted to say and ask us what you wanted to know, because a lot of the time we're just kind of giving you information without really checking whether you want the information or not. So yes, this is what this is for. DJ Reyes on Twitter asked me, can you recommend an iPad 4 case that doubles as a kickstand? Very easy answer to that question for me is the in-case origami. You should definitely try that one. Would you recommend upgrading from the new iPad 3rd gen to the iPad with Retina display 4th gen? Now let's get one thing very clear before we go on. The new iPad is what they called the 3rd generation iPad when it was launched. But they've changed the name now. It is the iPad with Retina display, which is obviously there's a 4th gen, but that just means they've changed the name of the entire series to iPad with Retina display to distinguish it from that, between that and the iPad 2, which doesn't have a Retina display. So I'm going to just call it the 3rd generation or 4th generation iPad. You can call it iPad with Retina if you want. I've probably not made that clearer at all, actually, thinking back at what I've just said, but you're going to have to forgive me because I'm not going to do it again. No, I wouldn't, is the answer to your question. I would not recommend upgrading because the only thing that you're getting is an extra bit of power. Wait till the next one. What phone would you buy, not including any of the iPhones? See, right now I'm torn. I want a Windows Phone device because, if I'm honest, I've never actually had one for day-to-day use, and I don't like to be one of those people that's just I love iPhone and I don't care about anything else. As you know, if you've been following our site for a while, I've tried things like the One X, the Galaxy Nexus, the Galaxy S3, I've had them all. I've had a lot of Android phones and I just generally don't like them, and I've been waiting for a Windows phone with a fantastic display so that I can look at it without thinking, oh, that's a horrible display, I hate it. So at the moment it's either the Windows Phone 8X or the Lumia 920, which is kind of, they're the two I want to try the most because I've not had a lot of experience with Windows, and obviously I'm a bit of a BlackBerry fan as well, so when BlackBerry 10 is launched next year, or this year now actually, when it's finally here, I will be trying that out too. What made you interested in becoming a tech journalist? See, this is a really interesting question for me because about 4 or 5 years ago, I was working in retail, I was selling mobile phones to people, and I hated my job. Now, mostly because people just come in to complain at you for stuff that's their fault. And I had enough of it, and you had to smile there politely and you weren't allowed to tell people what you actually thought. Because obviously you lose customers and then the company loses money and all that kind of stuff. And then one of my customers that I met, who was actually a really nice guy, he was a music journalist, and I thought, that sounds like a cool job. How do you become a journalist? And so I decided to leave my job, go into university to study media and journalism, and I ended up doing film and television, which is why I'm comfortable in front of camera and all this stuff that I never used to be able to do. And while I was in university, someone I was following on Twitter, it was one of Phone Dog's old writers, Adriana, she tweeted that she was starting up an iPhone blog, and I was literally just starting with my interest in iPhone. I just got my first iPhone, I'd switched from Android, and I thought, you know what, it could be worth it. I'm not going to get paid, but you know, I'll try that out. And eventually I found something that I really wanted to do for the rest of my life. So that's what I'm doing now. It was kind of fluky in some ways, but I'm here and I work it every day. This is what pays my rent, and this is what makes sure my family go. Sorry, this is what makes sure my family don't go without food. So yeah, what made me interested was that I always loved technology. I have done since I was a kid. I had a Commodore Amiga. From that, everything that came out was awesome to me, and I always wanted games consoles, and as soon as mobile phones came popular, then that was just a no-brainer for me. I just loved them so much, so it's an ideal job for me. I wanted to ask you something this week. Now, what I wanted to ask you is, how do you organise your home screen? Now, this is my iPhone home screen. I'm very fussy about the way that I want to organise it. You can see I've got 3 icons in the dock there, and then I've got 2 rows of apps and folders across 3, and just going into my 4th home screen now. And that's because I like to see my wallpaper. I like to have no clutter. I want everything tidied away in boxes, and that's generally how I am. I don't like having 4 in the dock because I think it looks horrible. If I could get away with it, I would just have 1. But I want to know, how do you organise your home screen? You can tweet me your images at @TIP_cam, or you can just tell me in the comments below. I'm very interested because everyone does it differently, and I think it's something that's very interesting because I'm a little bit of a nerd. But anyway, that's me. If you want to ask me anything for the next video next week, you can feel free, either ask me in the comments again or use Twitter. I'm at @TIP_cam, and please use the hashtag #QuizCam so that I can find it. And don't forget to check out our Facebook page. I'll leave all the links to all the social media stuff in the thingy-mabob as usual, and I will see you again soon. Good chow!